Okay, everybody, look, listen up. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Weekends are cancelled. Nights are cancelled. Meals are cancelled. I don't want anybody doing anything other than getting this new underfloor and front wing ready for Giovinazzi and Austin. Do you all understand? Okay, good. Now, I'm exhausted. I'm going home to bed, but I want to see big progress when I get back in the morning. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. It is the Austin Sprint weekend today, and well, we just need to get first and second if we're going to win the constructors. Are we 100 points back yet? Yeah, we are. So, yeah, we're running out of races. It needs to start. It needs to start now, and it needs to start in a big way as well. Giovinazzi, it's not looking good. We need Verstappen to have a bit of a choke, don't we? And we need to, Giovinazzi just needs to win. That comes down as simple to that, doesn't it? Now, we do have new parts on the car. They're only going to be on Giovinazzi's car. We have a front wing. If we go to swap out here, we've got two of them. And if we have a look at where it moves us up on the grid, it does a little bit move us up. Now, we have two, so we could put one on each car. We don't want to risk that, unfortunately. So, there's that, and then there's the new underfloor as well, which again will go onto Mick's car, and again, does it move us up? It does move us up. So, let's hope it works. We've emergency manufactured those just to make sure we have them. It's cost a little bit of extra money, but we're doing okay on the cost cap. I'll just give you a quick update. Is this the cost cap? It is. So projected, we're projected to have 24 million left at the end. So we're absolutely fine. We're going to be a little bit careful in case engines and whatnot that could set things back quite quickly. But yeah, we should be okay on that front. So let's have a quick look at what we're doing here. We've tried to offer Mick a new contract, and again, it's going to rain for the sprint and for qualifying. It's going to be a stressful one. 6.5 million, I think we're up to, or 7, and he won't do it. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. So for qualifying, red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3, sections by speed. It is a great track, isn't it, Austin? Just this. Can I go across this little bit here? Just there's got to be a little something better, but it's just a bit Mickey Mouse. But anyway, that's okay. We can deal with that. So low and high speed corners are what we need. Time considerations, not a huge safety pit stop loss, and only a 4-second save. Now we know from previous seasons it's a 2-stop, and the soft tire does not last very long. It is quick, a second quicker than the hard tire, but this track eats tires. So hard tires, we probably want, actually based on that, we probably want a hard tyre for the sprint, depending on how many laps it is. Now, historically, we've not won anything here, though Mick does have the lap record, which is good. Let's go and have a look at our performance targets. Reach Q2, you'd like to hope so. We just in a Giovinazzi choke doing it. So someone in the top 4, finishing position, both cars in the top 4. Let's go for fastest lap, why not? Qualifying, so one car in the top 6 for the next 2 races, and if somebody finishes in the top 6 today, we'll get ourselves 370 grand. Oh, it had to rain, didn't it? Let's go see how much rain. Alright, so light rain, which in many ways is the worst, because it doesn't necessarily even mean it's going to be an intermediate tyre. But we've got one free practice session. I'll try and do that as best I can, and then I'll see you for qualifying. Alright, so we've had our free practice session. It's gone okay. We've got to put new engines and whatnot in. We did the hard tyres, so 13th, 14th it did rain for about half of it. We don't know how we've done on setups yet, though. And the reason for that is because we didn't actually get to check. So, it's not great already on Giovinazzi, is it? 83 was his highest, so we'll see. We'll see how we go. It's going to be, it looks like a wet start, so we'll have to do the whole session. Alright, so we're going to go straight out. They're too close together there, I think. But we'll go straight out here. And see what we get. The track conditions are, it looks like, decent, to be honest. And we, oh, geez, and when you maybe just held up Mick there a little bit. But you'll get a nice draft down the straight there. And let's see where this pops us. So Mick is just ahead of Giovinazzi.
Dash negative.
Just ahead of Giovinazzi.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap.
So track is now going dry. So you know what's going to happen here, don't you?
Yeah,
everybody's on dry tyres but us, aren't they? I can already sense this. No, they're not. Okay. So, if we could actually, guys,
you know,
get back to the pits.
Pick up the paint.
And I wonder if we could get a...
we can push a bit more.
could we get a lap in on dry tyres? And just see. Hopefully I don't have to take over that permanently, because otherwise that's going to be a disaster for everybody involved. But let's get out there nice and quickly before this rain starts again. And so no, they have gone back onto, they've taken over, so that's good. But let's see. It's currently okay for dry tyres. And we're not going to have much traffic. Got a little bit there. Again, we've got Mick right up behind Giovinazzi. And we're not going any quicker, and it is wet. Okay, so let's abort this then. We'll just keep an eye on lap times. I don't think the track's getting quite wet now, so that's going to be it. So nice and comfortably through second and third, onto Q2 we go. Alright, so again, we'll go straight out. It doesn't look like it's going to improve the weather. The track is damp. Track is now dry. I mean, it's not. But that's okay.
On, not warming the tyres. Copy.
And let's see. I really wish it would stop going back like that. Anyway, let's see. Excuse me. What we can do here. Where's the sector times? Here we go. So, Giovinazzi. So no one's who's gone purple. Russell's gone purple. Giovinazzi. Where's he going to put himself here? He goes top temporarily. He's ahead of Gasly by over a second, and Leclerc by a decent margin as well. So the Red Bulls are fastest. Mick is in a bit of trouble here, though. What have you done, Mick? Track is now dry and expected to get drier. Oh, I think I've messed up. I think I've badly messed up. The track is dry. I didn't see it was going to rain, though, and I was waiting so we wouldn't get traffic. And... well, we're in trouble. If this rain comes before we finished our laps, we are going to have both cars eliminated here. Giovinazzi is currently in the process of getting held up horribly. And looks like he's got past that. The session has ended. Have we done enough here? Have we done enough? Giovinazzi, fifth. Mick. Mick has all sorts of traffic. And Mick is... so we got through. So yeah, I mean, the timing was fine if it didn't rain, and in the end, it didn't. So we got away with that. On to Q3. Alright, so again, we will go straight out for one lap, as everybody else is. And... well, we'll get an idea in a second here of Mick's... no, he's okay for track. It's a little quick there, isn't it? Giovinazzi, though, had a nice gap of 38.8. Is not lightning, and in fact it was a bad lap, and the track is now dry. So yeah, well, let's see where this session goes. Alright, so we tried to do a lap on soft tyres before the rain came back. We didn't make it, and unfortunately now we might be in a bit of a position of it's a bit late to get our lap time in, so we'll see. We are going to have to get around to start a lap. I'm trusting that Mick and Giovinazzi know what they're doing and will get to the flag. Mick needs to hurry up a little bit. He's going to get there, though. Okay. So let's jump on board here. We're not going any faster with Giovinazzi this lap. And that's the problem, of course, because he's sitting 9th right now. At least Mick is on the front row as things stand. Nobody's going quicker. I think the track is just massively slower, isn't it? So, yeah, Giovinazzi again, not covering himself in qualifying glory. So the good news for him is that it's a sprint weekend. He has a chance to sort of win that back a little bit. But, yeah, at least Mick's on the front row. Alright, so here we go for the sprint race. We're not expecting any rain for the sprint. We did do free practice 2 happen. We didn't take part in it, just saving engine parts and whatnot. So, yeah, 9th for Giovinazzi. He needs to move up, and he needs to move up as quickly as possible. There's some hard tyres in there, which we used our hard tyres in FP1, so we don't have a set for this. There's an argument to say a hard tyre may have been the one way to go. There's not many cars that have done that. So we'll see. I don't know that I would have done it, to be honest, because the medium tyre can get us there. We can't push it this hard for long, but it will get us there, and it's just a more attacking tyre, I think, for us to be on. So, yeah, we'll see. Mick has dropped a position. The Red Bulls are just in a different class again, it looks like. So he's just got to try and stay with them. Giovinazzi's up to 7th, so that's decent. We'll take that. And, yeah, we'll see how this develops. Alright, now, it's been a little bit of a weird start, in that the cars are now together on track. Now, what I would say is, if we look at everybody's tyre usage, they're all absolutely eating into their tyres compared to us, and I think what's happened is they're using their tyres more than we are, and we're more or less still there. So, although we've lost position, we haven't actually lost that much time, but our tyres are that much better, and partly that is because we can just get DRS'd along behind them, and so the damage that they're doing to their tyres is just getting cancelled out as we sort of cruise along behind them down the straights with DRS just closing the gap back in. So we'll use this opportunity to save a little bit of petrol. If we can get away with maybe topping up the battery, then we'll do that as well. Giovinazzi's right there. That's Mick in front. So I'm not displeased with how it's going right now. We just need to... Those Red Bulls, they haven't got away, which is key, really. Alright, well, Mick has got a move done on Albon down the front straight with DRS, but he's not done there because he's all over the back of Perez. We've sort of cancelled the top up and fuel save party because I think we're about to get him, and we should do a DRS here quite comfortably. And Mick is going to be back up into 3rd, and hopefully running down those Red Bulls, although they have opened up a bit of a gap in the last few laps. Giovinazzi, oh wait, he's just gone and stuck a move on Albon as well. So I think what we're seeing here is that everybody that has more or less... Let's try deploying and see if we can... We've got tyres to use compared to everybody else. Let's go and use it. See if we can keep Perez behind us. Oh, we don't need that. We really don't. And we have stayed in front. Let's stick with this for Mick. What sort of lap times are the Red Bulls doing? So they're doing 35s. I don't know if Mick has that sort of pace in his car or not. We'll find out soon, of course. But he just needs to, if he can break the DRS to Perez, what that will also do, of course, is make it easier for Giovinazzi to go and get past as well. But anyway, we'll stick with this. This is going to come back to us, this race. And hopefully in a big way. Alright, well, we come back. Mick is all over the back of George Russell, and Verstappen is right there. Yeah, we're staying with them. We are still doing a good job on our tyres. Giovinazzi is right there as well on Perez. It looks as though Perez is just starting to get dropped, so we might need to just force Giovinazzi past in a second. We'll see if Perez doesn't have DRS coming onto the front straight, then it might be the time. The track does, as I said, it eats tyres, this track. So you can see they're trying to save their rubber, but they're not quite able to do it in the same way that that we've already done it because they pushed so hard at the start. And we are actually gonna try and get past Perez here. Maybe not the best part of the track to do it. And I mean, this is looking like a good result for us. Don't get me wrong, but of course the problem we have is both Verstappen and both Red Bulls are right at the front. So we're not right now. We're actually losing more points to everybody. So that, as I said, just doesn't really help us. Can Giovinazzi go and send this in and get that done? I'm pretty sure he hit him there, but the game's not registered it, so that's the main thing. Alright, we've got a lap and a half to go, and we are going for it. Mick, he's got 1, he's got 2. Mick goes to the front, which is a little bit spectacular, it's got to be said. And we do, of course, have, as I say, a little bit of extra tyre life to play with here as well. He's charged his batteries, hopefully enough to be able to get himself to the end on charge. And, well, Mick may have just got himself a sprint race win here. We start the final lap. I wasn't expecting him to go past, but I wasn't even expecting him to get one car down that straight. We were just going to try and edge up and put ourselves in a good position for okay, let's just yeah, for the final lap. I wasn't even necessarily looking for a we've broken the DRS actually to Russell. So that's a little bit spectacular. Giovinazzi now, can he go and get something else done here? Can he go and get Perez? Let's go a full attack. Go and get that done. And can he go and get Verstappen in front of you now? Oh, go on. Around the outside. He's done that. All right. Come on, Gio.
No go.
That's all right. Mick is out of battery. That's fine. He doesn't need it. He's 2 seconds up the road. He's judged this race spectacularly, has Mick. Now, can we go and stick a move on Verstappen down the outside? Can we get the drag off the corner? Not quite. Mick has won, though. Mick will start on pole. Giovinazzi will be 4. So, in the unupdated Ferrari, Mick gets the job done. Giovinazzi, as I said, he's up 5 positions to 4th. That's a pretty good result for him as well. If only he could have got Max. But, yeah, that's it's even, isn't it? It's fight on now between Ferrari and Red Bull for the Grand Prix proper. Now, strategy for this one. Soft tyres are essentially useless. So let's, if we're going to use a soft tyre, then we're going to want to use it right at the end if there's a safety car situation. We've got so many soft tyres. I wonder if we do like a what's it called, a Qatar and make an extra stop. I don't think you want to do that, to be honest. Not where we're starting. I think we want to be a little bit sensible. All right, so I think what we might actually want to do, though, is go hard as the middle stint. Sort of extend that out. And if we can push a hard tyre and still... Okay, so I like that. The downside to that is that we're extending the first stint, and undercuts are going to be quite powerful here, I think. So if anything, we want to push the first tyre, come in, put on a hard. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So do we actually want to do a soft tyre then? We might as well do a soft tyre, then come in, get the undercut. So actually, I'm talking myself around here, aren't I? So do we actually want to just constantly be getting undercuts and go on a hard tyre at the end? That's probably what we want to do then, isn't it? So we just want strategy A. Then we might even do that on both cars, I think. Although if we're a little bit close to each other. Alright, Mick. Okay, well, I mean, we might as well see if this works. If Mick does a full push, try and break, but, you know, he's starting on pole, get a gap to the field and go. Alright, I can do that. Let's go. Alright, welcome back. Look at that. 2 Ferraris at the front. We're the only cars on soft tyres, certainly towards some at the back, I think, that are on a soft tyre, are they? Yeah, there's a few at the back. So, well, Mick is just going for it from sort of word dot. Are we getting overtaken on the outside there? Come on, Gio. You can't let a medium-tyred car go around the outside of you when you're on soft tyres. That is slightly infuriating, I've got to be honest. It's just annoying. Hopefully he doesn't hold us up for too long. But what we want is Mick to try and sprint away here. Break the DRS if possible. It's only a 20-second pit stop loss, of course. So he needs 20 seconds in 10 laps, basically, over as many of the field as possible to sort of come out into a decent position. And he's a second ahead of Verstappen as things stand now. We'll save the soft tyres a little bit here for Gio. But yeah, Mick is off, which is the plan, of course. And let's see how far he can get ahead. And Giovinazzi just needs to, try and make this work for him as best he can. So it's not really working for Mick as George Russell goes past. As soon as we stop deploying, the Red Bulls caught us back up. Yeah, so that's obviously annoying. We'll keep going with this because my suspicion is that for them to do this, they're chonking into their medium tyres. So, yeah, we'll keep going with it. Hopefully take them somewhere, you know, that they don't want to take their tyres. But Giovinazzi's dropping off a little bit here. He is doing a bit of fuel save. But he's in a no man's land. You can see Albon behind him is, quite a ways behind. So, yeah, we saw the first race was a bit of a, a slow burn. You have to wait for it to come back to you. it might be a similar situation here, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, now we are on Mick's in-lap. We extended it a little bit because we weren't breaking free of the Red Bull. So what I'm conscious of is the gap sort of back to the midfield, and it's looking as though, as things stand, we'll come out hopefully if we get a decent stop ahead of Ricciardo. If we could have done a little bit more, we need probably another 5 seconds for it to work nicely and sort of get up ahead of 12th back. But this is as good as we could go. This is a safety car. It's absolutely perfectly timed, but it's not. It's Stroll locking up. And if you've got something, cross it. Let's hope we get a good pit stop here. Off, on, go. 2.5. Go on. That's as good as it gets for us, isn't it? Now, Giovinazzi will be in a couple of laps to the point where we might push him on a little bit. And this is the... Oh! Well, it's seconds too late. It's seconds too late.
A lot of debris on track.
We saw it was a crash involving multiple cars. It almost involved us. Or did it?
Okay.
It did involve us.
I don't know what just happened.
Oh, Mick's been running to the back of, has he?
And not just one car involved in that.
Bloody Haas.
Prep ourselves for a push. Copy.
Suspension and chassis minor. Well, I mean, that is just bad luck. Honestly, if we had no bad luck, we wouldn't have any luck, would we? It's ridiculous, the sort of things that happen to us. Run into the back of, avoiding somebody else's accident. Sonoda and Zoe. What about who ran into the back of us? I'm assuming it must have been, well, De Vries, who did get a penalty. I mean, he had to, really. But that is unbelievable. And of course, never mind the time loss of actually just sitting there while the crash happened. Oh, I just don't know why this game hates me. So the other thing I've just noticed here is that it's knackered his gearbox as well. Now, he was due for a new one probably next race anyway, but that's going to cost him lap time. You just can't believe our luck sometimes, can you? But anyway, he's going to get past Bottas here. There's then a 10-second gap in front. We really wanted to have a couple of laps, and we could have come out in front of them anyway. Here we go. Giovinazzi's coming in. Let's hope we get a good stop out of him.
And DRS is more.
Now, 20-odd seconds is going to be, so Mick-ish. Off, on, go. 2.5 again. I tell you what, we might just have got these Ferrari pit stops where we need them. And is he going to come out in front of Mick? He is. That is just horrible bad luck for Mick, isn't it? But anyway, Giovinazzi can go now. Let's deploy him and see if we can get an undercut on these Red Bulls while we've got this little bit of free air in front of us. This is what we wanted for Mick. Giovinazzi has got it. And maybe we shouldn't have pushed Mick quite so hard at the start. And another thing I've just realised, his tyres are stuffed. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Alright, well, Giovinazzi has now just caught up to the back of this train of cars that is essentially behind the leaders. So, sort of this is third through sixth in front of us. Mick has come out. Perez has made a stop. Mick has come out just behind him, but he needs to come in again. We're going to go a hard tyre and then a soft at the end, and just hope. I mean, it's all we can really do, isn't it? We'll bring Mick in on this lap. The other thing, of course, is we don't actually know if his gearbox is even going to make it. So, it's just a disaster. It was just so unlucky. That's the worst thing, isn't it? It just wasn't even his fault. But anyway, we don't need to lose too much time here behind Perez. I mean, he's not really our race anymore. We can see our race, isn't it? Our race is going to be sort of Gasly back because they're not that far up the road. So if he's got the pace in the car, then that's where he can race. If he doesn't, he's got to bring home as many points as he can. But all these cars should be jumping soon. We're only 4 seconds in theory ahead of the Red Bulls, and they're going to come out on fresher tyres. We really need these guys to come in this lap if they can. So there's one. That's one out of the way. Oh, we did get DRS. Well, that's not what we needed. Here comes Mick as well. Onto a hard tyre, of course. And another good stop from Ferrari. They're looking like a professional outfit all of a sudden, aren't they? So he's 11th. He's 11th with one stop to go. I mean, anything, if Mick can score points out of this, he's a genius, to be honest. So let's hope he can. Alright, now, Verstappen has just come into the pits. Russell has already stopped. He's come out on soft tyres, about 5 seconds behind us. I'm assuming Verstappen's going to come out on soft tyres as well. And what that'll mean is that we'll both go into hard tyres for the final stint, I imagine. Now, why has Leclerc been able to get past Mick? Is that a DRS thing? Perhaps. They're battling anyway. Now, what tyres did... Yeah, so they're both on softs. They're going to lose that advantage pretty quickly, but they're also going to catch us pretty quickly. So we'll see how that gets on. Yeah, I mean, the hard tyre isn't great, but it was the only time... Unless we could have, I guess, gone medium. No, we couldn't. We didn't have enough mediums. We had no choice because we only have 2 mediums. And that essentially was written off. So we had no choice. To get to the end, we either had to make another extra stop, or we had to do a hard... a hard tyre. So it's just ruined his race, hasn't it? Alright, we have a strategy change. The Red Bulls right now are, although Russell's not done well that lap, but they're 2 seconds a lap faster than what we're doing on a medium, sort of plodding around. So we're going to go soft, because I think if you're 2 seconds a lap faster, it's an extra stop. I mean, it's and you lose 20 seconds. You're going to make that up in 10 laps. To, the extra stop, and there's more than 10 laps to go. There's 30 laps to go. So if you're doing 30 laps at, I mean, we're not going to be 2 seconds a lap faster right now because we've got the mediums on. But I mean, and they could be really pushing as well, which is, I guess, the other side of it. But we don't really have anything to lose because we're quite comfortably faster than everybody else. So I just think it's possibly worth doing. And yeah, if I thought of it sooner, I would have done it with Mick. But Mick's just sort of plodding around right now, trying to do the best he can. But yeah, we'll see, won't we? We'll see if this works. It didn't really work for us, if we're honest, in Qatar. But I feel like we've got really quite little to lose. I think we're going to get third with Giovinazzi, as long as, all things being equal. And if it gives us a chance of maybe at least going with the Red Bulls a little bit, we might just well try it, mightn't we? Alright, we are on an in-lap for Giovinazzi for his move back onto soft tyres. We've stayed with Verstappen. Their soft tyres, I think they've sort of burned through them a little bit, so we're able to stay with them, which is good. But the difference between us going onto a hard tyre and 2 softs, I think, is just day and night, to be honest. So let's see what we get here. Ideally, we needed probably... I've missed it. We probably needed another lap, in truth, to be able to get the gap out over sort of Stroll, Ocon, all that sort of crowd. It's a 2.9. It's our slowest of the day, but we'll definitely take it. So let's see where that brings us out. Is it going to get us in front of Stroll? And he's right alongside us. We just about did that. So you can see what I mean about how sort of worst case scenario we are going to be third. Because as things stand right now, Perez is on a hard tyre, possibly to the end. And, we're not that far. We're probably 2 or 3 laps behind him. So I think it's a risk worth taking, I think. Anyway, hopefully that'll sort of pan out as we go. And Mick is 10th. He's 10 seconds back. He's got sort of 3 wheels on his wagon. No gearbox. Gearbox is hanging in there. But yeah, I mean, as I said, if he takes anything from this race, he's a bit of a genius. We're pushing his hard tyres. What we'll do is instead of going into a soft at the end, we'll go onto our other set of mediums. Alright, so both the Red Bulls have just come in, so they're going to double stack. I don't think there was a big enough gap between them to double stack. We have been absolutely flying, taking seconds out of them a lap, and we are now in front. Let's have a look at the gap if we can when they come out. So the interval to leader, so we're 2.5 seconds. Now what tyres do they come out on? So they're at 6 seconds. Where did I just miss tyres? Where are we here? So they've come out onto me. We could still win this race, They've just come out on mediums. let's see exactly what sort of lap times they can do. But we're only 6 seconds behind them. If we were to stop now, we'd be 6 seconds behind them. Now, they're going to have older mediums. We're going to have brand new softs at the end. And we still should be able to more or less match their pace right now on soft tyres anyway. Giovinazzi could still win this, I think. Alright, now Mick is coming in this lap. Now, if we have a look, Russell is putting in some decent lap times, but we're matching them. We just kicked up our speed a little bit. Because if we can sort of hold both the Red Bulls whilst they're getting the best out of their tyres, then that's going to help us later on as another sub 3 second stop. Mick, as you can see, did go onto a medium to get to the end. It was a little bit too early to go onto a soft, so we could have eked out the hards, but honestly, I don't think it was going to help him at all. He was better off, I think, going onto a medium that he can push pretty hard now to the end. But yeah, let's go back to Giovinazzi. He is in front. Perez has stopped. Did Perez come in for mediums, or he came in for mediums as well? So yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We've got 6 seconds right now, and then Verstappen is another 6 seconds back, so 12 seconds. If we can, yeah, it's going to be tough. We are quick up that lap, so if we can hold them here. And then see when we come in. But if we look 20 second pit stop loss, right now that's Perez. So yeah, worst case scenario, we're going to finish third here. So I had absolutely no regrets in doing this strategy because it's going to give us a chance against the Red Bulls and a bit of an exciting finish, hopefully. Alright, so we are coming in this lap with Giovinazzi. You can see we've got a 6 second gap over Russell, 12 seconds over Verstappen, 20 second pit stop loss in theory, 17 seconds over Perez, and then Norris is right on the precipice there. So this needs to be a good stop for... I missed bloody harvest again. This needs to be a good stop. If it's a good stop, we can get out ahead of Norris, and that'll save us a little bit. It's still good. Let's not get greedy with our 2.5s. Are we going to get ourselves out ahead of Lando Norris? That is the dream here. And it looks like we might just about have done that. So that's good. We can try and close this gap down now. Let's deploy, actually. And, well, actually, no, let's save the deploy for next lap and see if we can have a sneaky bid for fastest lap. We are 13 seconds off the lead with about 10 laps to go. Are we going to be able to do it? We're going to find out. Alright, so Giovinazzi has just done a 32.8. Got fastest lap. Almost got past Perez. Couldn't quite make that one stick. But obviously we have taken seconds out of the lead of the Red Bulls there. That has sent shockwaves through Milton Keynes, hasn't it? And with DRS, that'll be a piece of cake now. And we are now with 10 laps to go. Where's the leader? 8 seconds off the lead. Now, we can't keep doing that pace, obviously. But it's definitely on. So this helps Mick because Albon and, is that Stroll, I think, 18, isn't it, have crashed. And that should help him move up a little bit, which is nice.
Sorry, guys.
And as for Giovinazzi, this is Max Verstappen right in front of us. We have closed the gap down. And he should be fairly simple takings as we go into turn 1 here, I would have thought. In fact, we could probably even harvest up the straight and still get him. As we might even get him to the last corner. No, not quite that easy. But here we go. DRS, harvesting as we do it, just to show off.
No guys, no guys.
And can we actually make that stick? In hindsight, maybe we should have not been showboating. It's not quite done yet there, is it? Mick's out of... so Mick has got 8. As everybody starts to pile into the pits. Yeah, showboating was wrong, but in the end, it doesn't matter. We're going to get Verstappen here anyway, and then we're going to have a little bit of time left to go and get George Russell as well. I mean, you can block if you want, Max. It's not going to help you. Alright, so George Russell has gone the big push that lap. Well, we've more or less matched lap times, but he's surely deploying and not able to keep that up. Surely. The gap is 2.5 seconds. I think Mick is going to lose out here because he's got Norris behind him on a new soft. He's going to get him for sure. And then he's probably going to drag Sainz past him as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. But ninth, with considering Mick, as I say, he's got damaged gearbox and everything, we might even just sit back and sort of take that as that's what's going to happen. So 2 laps to go. And that is Russell in front. He was not quite quick enough that lap. We pulled in a little bit, but maybe not enough. We'll go full send on the tyres. How's his tyres looking? Surely he's been deploying. His tyres are destroyed. We've got better, softer tyres. 1.3 seconds coming onto the final lap. We'll give Mick something to fight with at least, but I think he's just going to have to accept the fact he's going to finish this race in 9th. But what we don't need to accept is the winner, because we are right behind George Russell. We're going to have DRS coming onto the final lap. Are we going to get it done into turn 1? De Vries has had a spin, which nobody particularly cares about. So, no. Let's save our DRS.
And recharge on.
And make sure that when we get to the back straight, we have everything. We give it absolutely everything to make sure that we are going to go and win this race. We'll start deploying now. Is he going to get... He's not going to get DRS off that Williams, is he? No, he's not. It's as easy as you like. Mick, who is a Giovinazzi, cruises past George Russell into the lead of the race. We can deploy to the end. And that is going to be victory for Giovinazzi in Austin, assuming that he stays on the road. But he's already 1.5 seconds up the streak. They've got nothing to come back at him with. Giovinazzi, and a little bit of genius strategy, if I do say so myself, has won in Austin. Mick, he is, unfortunately for him, he's still holding off Sainz, just about. Can we deploy him to the end here? I tell you what, if Mick can come home 8th in this race, given everything that's happened to him, having started on pole and surely being the favourite to win the race when it started, I'll be very proud of him. But it looks like he is just about going to manage to do it, is he? Yes, he does! He comes home 8th. Well done, Mick.
And P8.
So, a perfect race for Giovinazzi, 26 points. And it has to be said, if Mick hadn't been involved in that crash, where would he have been? I think obviously in the top 4 we can say that, but could we have had a 1-2 there on a different day? So Giovinazzi closes in 10 points to Max. It's still a very comfortable lead for him, but upgraded car as well, of course. It looked good, didn't it? It did look good, and unfortunately Perez has pulled a little bit out on Mick there. But it just wasn't Mick's fault, that one, was it? That's always frustrating. Despite everything, Red Bull have pulled out 3 points on us, so, you know, they're just better, aren't they? Oh, and 2 more pit stop points as well. Have we got ahead of Alfa Romeo? I said we were coming for you, and we have. We've got you. Have some of that, Alfa. Williams, you might be untouchable. But anyway, 8th in the pit stops. What a time to be alive. So there we go. We did our best. It was good enough, just not quite good enough. So yeah, that's that. Next up, it is Mexico. It's not a sprint race weekend, so that's something I can take my time and yeah. Now, the issue we have with Mick, of course, was powertrain. The gearbox is shot. Now, he does have a new one, which was probably going to go in for this race anyway. So that's not the end of the world. His ERS, that is a problem. We might need a new one. We'll have to have a think about that. And the engine was fine. So, yeah, we can deal with that. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Giovinazzi wins in Austin. Let's see if we can go back-to-back in Mexico. Take care.